in terms of this process, when you're working, like if you do freelance work, you're gonna have to figure out how to get things from the beginning to the client presentation largely on your own. For most freelance designers, that's true. And one of the things that becomes really difficult is when you go to school, there's all this pressure and these expectations of like a check in here and a check in there and a check in there. And in general, you don't do that with clients. I do, because I sort of make them do it. But mostly they don't do that. Mostly you kick the thing off and then weeks later, whenever, you show up with a thing. And you have to have this sort of like discipline to get it from A to B. And hopefully you can just kind of see having like a structured process, like you haven't really gotten any feedback. You've probably noticed that, right? You're not getting any feedback. No one's really telling you what to do. It's a random encouragement and like, oh, that'd be cool, or this could be a cool execution, but you don't have to do any of that. But the process is gonna help you just by virtue of you doing it to get to an endpoint where hopefully you're attached and happy to the thing. But even if you're not, it was like a fairly effortless journey, and I would hang on to that because there becomes a tendency to get really lost once you're outside the structure of school and you're designing, because the school supplies so much structure that then when it's gone, everything is sort of confusing and weird, and a lot of times like even real work doesn't feel real. But if you can like bring a process in of your own that works for you, you can sort of do anything, and you don't have to worry about like, am I gonna have an idea? Or like getting to the client presentation and not feeling sure about where you're at, or having left it to the very last minute because you're just stressed out the whole time. Like the process hopefully makes it that you know what to do at any given moment, even if you don't know what will happen. And I think it takes a lot of the struggle out of it, and it makes it feel real again. Because what I find is like when you're in school, critiques make everything feel real. The external pressure, lots of opinions, blah, blah, blah. But the weird thing is like, that's not reality. That's almost exclusively in a school environment, even in supposedly creative, collaborative agencies. That's the exception, not the rule. And when you get out and you don't have that, it's real confusing. And one of the ways to make up for that is to impose it on yourself in a way where you have the structure, even if you don't have the people. Of course, you can just get the people too, but it's easier said than done, getting 7 of your friends together to give you opinions on things you're being paid for. It's your job to figure out. So if you can build up the process and figure out how it's gonna work for you, it makes the work feel more real, and it makes it feel full again in the way that, to me at least, school tends to feel full, and a lot of professional work didn't have the same feeling until I brought the process thing in. And then it makes everything else feel like fluff and stupid, but it makes like the projects I have to do, like okay, that's a real project because I did this, 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 and this. Think about what parts of this are working for you, so that if you go into freelancing or whatever, and it's just you and a computer for a week by yourself, basically, that this will help you get through those weeks so that you don't just get lost in like trying a version, being screwed up, procrastinating, being stressed out, going for 75 walks for coffee, that kind of routine, and instead that you're like, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. And just by virtue of doing that, I'll get critiques, it's just I'll be the one critiquing it. So, a couple of thoughts there.